Welcome, my amazing viewers. Thank you so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you're connecting from. If you're joining me from Africa, from Asia, from Europe, from America, or from Australia, I appreciate you very much for your contribution on my channel. Thank you for your comments on the comment section. I do appreciate all your comments, and I learn a lot from your comments. As you are teaching me, I'm also adding to your own opinion also. Let us put our head together and continue to find a solution and a way out. Our freedom is here. It doesn't matter what people say, it doesn't matter what they do, we will have to continue to speak up and people will hear our voice. For those who have not yet subscribed, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it when the information comes. Please kindly share with people also. Share in every platform where you belong. Share with people who need to see the video. Let them know what is going on and what our opinion is. We cannot allow them to take over the media. We cannot allow them to change our story. Neither will we allow them to suppress us and silence us. We will never allow that. That is why we are coming online. If you have not been joining the struggle, this is the time for you to join. This is time for you to speak up. As you all know, the arrest of our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is no longer a story. And this is the time that we have to speak up more than ever. Don't be scared. Don't be cowed out. Don't be troubled. This is the time you have to speak more. If you have not been speaking, this is the time you have to speak and add your own opinion, because the struggle has taken a different dimension and a new shape. And we are now at the crossroad, at the end of the road. That is where we are now. And at the end of the tunnel, there is always a light. We are at the end of the tunnel now to see the light. That is when we have to speak up more. For those who have not yet joined the struggle of Biafra, I'm sorry for you. As I always say, the train have left the station already. We are reaching to the end of the road where the light is going to shine. And for those who have not joined, well, try to catch up if you can. If you cannot be able to catch up, you have been left behind already. And we are marching forward into Biafra land very soon. We are moving into a Biafra land. It doesn't matter what anybody think. It doesn't matter what they say. Biafra must come. It is here already. Biafra is here already. You see what is going on in the contraction called Nigeria. You can see the double standard they are playing. It is no longer something new. The double standard is exposed to the world. The world has seen everything that is happening in that very country called Nigeria. It can no longer be hidden. The world is seeing it very clear the way it's happening. The way southern part of Nigeria and northern Nigeria are being treated when things happen. The northern part of Nigeria is being treated with deodorant and being treated kindly. But when anything happens in the southern part of Nigeria, the government come hard on them. Take the life of as many as they can to make sure they suppress the people from the southern part of Nigeria. But that cannot happen for too long. The end of the road has come. They have taken their final and the only step that they have to take by taking down and rearresting our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is the crossroad. That is the red line. They have crossed it. And what we are waiting for is what is about to unfold very soon. It is not going to be funny and it's not going to be sweet to any ear that is going to hear it. But we pray that however, whatever Chukwuka Biama have prepared for us, we are ready and we are moving ahead. Just as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have said, they will kill us, we will kill them. At the end of the day, Biafra is the target. We cannot lose our focus. We are focusing on that very target, which is Biafra. As you all know, the propaganda they are carrying about, you see the way their Attorney General of the Federation came out to make the announcement of the arrest of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Even went to the extent of placing new charges without informing his own lawyer. They placed some other new charges without informing the lawyer. One of the charges they placed was incitement in social media. That he used social media to incite people to commit atrocities and commit murder. But we all know what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is up to and what he has been doing, and what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have never done any incitement. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in all of his programs was pointing out to the evil in that very country called Nigeria. He was pointing out the evil that people have failed to see. This very contraption called Nigeria, that called himself a nation, recruited members of Boko Haram, a terrorist group known by the world, number three most dangerous terrorist group in the world. Number 3, Boko Haram was reintegrated into Nigerian army to work hand in hand. They are serving the Nigerian army, and people were going about their business as if nothing happened. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu called the attention of people to hear and see what is going on. As Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made this call, people begin to wake up. to see and know what is happening. To see and know what is happening. And the military took these very Boko Haram members who are terrorists and deployed them to the southern part of Nigeria. Since they were deployed as police and army, they have been killing and taking life indiscriminately. These were the first people that were deployed that caused the very NSAS movement that was being brought up. Because of this deployment of the terrorists to the southern part of Nigeria, there was NSAS movement. You can see through the NSAS, the whole southern region were together talking about the NSAS to end these very terrorists who are in a military uniform and police uniform. The protests were going on. But in the north, they were celebrating. In the north, we are saying that they needed them because those people who are, those terrorists were not deported to, were exported to the north. The north said they wanted them, that they should send them to them to come and protect them. But the federal government pushed these terrorists to the southern part of Nigeria. This was during the NSAS, and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu woke people up and told people what is happening. That these people are not just military men, they are terrorists in the uniform of military men. That when you see them, don't take them as your friend. They are your enemies and they're going to take you down if you don't take them down. That was the message of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, calling on the people to beware of the terrorists. They shouldn't allow themselves to be killed by the terrorists. That was the message. He formed ESN to go to the bushes again and fight against the terrorists who have come to occupy the land, which the government themselves admitted that invaders are coming from all parts of the world, that the Fulani herdsmen who are killing people are not Nigerian, that they are foreigners. That they are foreigners coming from all parts of the world to occupy space. The government said it by themselves. Knowing fully well that these people are foreigners, the government still continue to support them, never did anything to protect the people, never did anything to stop them from killing the innocent people. You can see the number of people that were killed in Benue State, unnumbered, uncounted. Benue State, are you talking of Plateau State? In the whole of the north, a lot of people were ravaged. The indigenous people were destroyed and killed. Their land taken and renamed. The federal government was not doing anything about it. They came to the southwest. They were killing indiscriminately. Many people lost their life in the southwest. They couldn't protect them. They couldn't protect until Sunday Igboho come up. When Sunday Igboho came up to protect the southwest, what did the federal government do? They came after Sunday Igboho. They went and bombed Sunday Igboho house. Last thing, they were planning to arrest Sunday Igboho by all means possible to press him down. This was what the mission of the federal government, in order to empower the killers who are killing the indigenous people. Sunday Igboho stood his ground and began to rally Yoruba and begin to call for the Yoruba nation because of the killing that is happening. Sunday Igboho saw what was coming through the exposure of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and Sunday Igboho began to call and rally around the Oduduwas. Oduduwa came together and began to fight their just cause. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu established the ESN to fight against these people. When they came to the east, they have killed and killed in the Benue State, in Enugu State, in Ebonyi State, and the governors' hands are tied. They couldn't do anything. They couldn't protect the people. Even when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu wrote to them to form a group that would protect the southeastern region, they didn't. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu took it upon himself and formed the ESN. The ESN was formed, and the ESN, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made it very clear in his broadcast. Maybe you have forgotten. He made it clear in his broadcast that the work of the ESN is to fight in the bushes. He made it clear in his broadcast that they are not the Biafran army. They are a security group to protect the land and property of the people. I am going to play the video for you so that you can remember. Some of you have short memories.
As I said, this very evening, we are going to announce our preparedness to defend the land of Biafra. And having waited for very many years for the governors in our land, the entire East, by which I mean the Southeast and the South-South, to do what their counterparts in Yoruba land did, and even what the terrorist Miyetti Yala also managed to do, which they have failed to do up until this very day, we have decided to take it upon ourselves to defend the land of Biafra. We are determined and we are resolute, and we are not going to stop until we eradicate every trace of Fulani terrorism every trace of hegemonic Janjaweedism in our midst. Until that happens, we are not going to waver. We are not going to retreat, not 1 inch, not 1 iota. We have come that we may do the bidding of the Most High for that which we were sent, or should I say born, in the first place. We are going to defend our land against the ravages of Fulani terrorism. We are going to defend the lives of our people against state-sponsored extrajudicial killings by the zoo armed forces. We cannot allow what happened in Obi, Buatompo, in Aba, in Faruku, in Emene to happen anymore. It can no longer happen in our land. Today, we are sending a note of warning, or should I say caution, to all those that delight in shedding the blood of Biafrans and innocent people right across the length and breadth of this zoological republic called Nigeria. That from this day onwards, any attempt to kill innocent people will be kindly reciprocated. Any attempt by the zoo army or the police to kill innocent populations the same way they did in Obi will be met in equal measure. Therefore, it has fallen upon this very generation to defend our land against the excesses and ravages of Fulani terrorism and the hegemonic tendencies of the Sokoto Caliphate. For years, our mothers have not been able to go to the farms. Our daughters are being raped and cut into pieces. Everybody is aware of what transpired at Nimbo, at Ozowani, what is happening right now in Delta, what is also happening in Ebonyi State, and also in parts of Abia. We cannot allow it to continue. We have cowards and spineless, lily-livered idiots as governors. They have given over our land to the Janjaweed to occupy in perpetuity. This very generation, this very IPOB will not tolerate it. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. We would rather all perish and die than to allow our land to be taken over by the Janjaweed. It cannot happen. This is a warning to all the governors who are conspiring due to one political consideration or the other to give our land to infidels and blood-sucking demons from the Sahel. It cannot happen, not under our watch. It's not going to happen. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. Our invaders, we are being told, come from Senegambia. We are being told they come from Mali. Some are from Niger Republic. Some are from Chad, according to the governor of Kaduna State, El Rufai. Therefore, we are setting up the Eastern Security Network to combat the excesses of these vagabonds and criminals from across the Sahel. Along the same lines as Amotekun, and even the ones set up by the terrorists themselves, Mieti Yala. What we are launching today officially before the congregation of a global audience is the Eastern Security Network. Not a Biafran army, no. Anytime this army will march, we shall let the world know. But for now, and for our present purposes, we are there to defend the land of Biafra against these marauders from the Sahel, against a very determined incursion being led by terrorists, Fulani terrorists to be precise. What we are doing is no different from what Amotekun is seeking to achieve in Yoruba land. What we are doing is not far from what Mieti Yala, the terrorists themselves, are seeking to achieve in the northern part of the damnable Zoological Republic. Our response to the endless cycle of insecurity, lawlessness, mayhem, destruction of lives and properties in Biafra land is the launch of this very Eastern Security Network. This very day, in the coming days and weeks, you will see them in their uniforms. you will see them performing very critical and vital functions of ensuring the security of our land. I urge each and every one of you to give them your maximum cooperation. Attempts in the past to resolve these very raging Fulani terrorist incursion into our land has been very fragmented and piecemeal. It has never worked. Just a few days ago, we received reports that Delta State under Governor Ifeanyi Okowa launched what he referred to as Delta Safe Operation Delta Hawk, only for Delta State. Whereas Yoruba governors launched Amotekun to safeguard the whole of Yoruba land. Miyetti Yala launched their own vigilante group to safeguard the interest of Fulani Janjaweed all over the Zoological Republic. When you come to the east, by which I mean the southeast and the south-south, all the governors there are cowards. They have not done anything to secure our lives and our properties. That is why we felt it is necessary for us to do the right thing to protect our land, or else we will go the way that the Hausa people went. And we are not going to allow that, not under our watch. They have managed to fragment our people. They have managed to divide us. No governor in the southeast or south-south has the courage nor the conviction to stand up to defend the people. Therefore, we must. Therefore, IPOB must defend our land to the very last blood in our bones. We are not going to stop. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever, until we rid our farms and our forests of every vestige of Fulani Janjaweedism. This evening, I'm announcing it, that our forests and our farmlands shall be free of Fulani terror presence. They cannot dwell in our bushes. They can bring down their cattle to do their business, after which we expect them to domicile in our cities and in our towns, to rent houses like any other group of people. If they decide to venture into our forests and into our farms, they will have us to contend with. We do not care who they come with. We don't care if they come with their army, their air force, or whoever is supporting this caliphate relentless incursion into the south. We shall meet them head on. We shall confront them. I do not want to hear about any rape of a mother anywhere starting from this very night. I don't want to hear that any daughter of Biafra has been abducted anywhere in our territory, because starting from this very evening, our forests and our farmlands are no-go areas for Fulani terrorists masquerading as headsmen. Because the Fulani very cleverly discovered that the only way they can defeat our people is by dividing us. That is why all the governors of the South-South and the Southeast never got together to float any security outfit capable of defending our land. None of them did. Absolutely none. Even what their counterparts are doing in Yoruba land, they cannot replicate. What ordinary terrorist group like Miyetti Yala is doing, your so-called governors cannot do it, because they are cowards. They are beholden to the caliphate. They have come to do the bidding of the Fulani Janjaweed, and we can't allow them in our land. If they want to serve the Fulani caliphate, they can go to the north and do it. Not in Biafra land, not anymore, not from this very night. That is why this very announcement is being made before the full view of the international community, that they may understand how serious we are, how determined we are. As somebody quite rightly said, the only way to eat an elephant is by cutting it into pieces. The only way the Fulani Janjaweed can overwhelm us is by dividing us. If you are an agent of Fulani Caliphate, if you have come to do the bidding of Fulani Janjaweed in our land, I am asking you this very evening to retrace your steps. Because again, starting from this very day, Anywhere Biafrans are killed, any governor, any police commissioner who tolerates the massacre of innocent people will pay very dearly for it. Will pay very, very dearly for it. Do not underestimate our resolve. Because this evening, first of all, I speak as a human being who is possessed of a compatriot spirit and empathy with the suffering of human beings everywhere, especially in the zoo that Britain created called Nigeria. Second, I speak as a witness to the suffering of Biafrans at the hands of their so-called fellow citizens in the zoo called Nigeria. And what we want to make abundantly clear is that we are warning everybody who is a stakeholder in the zoo about our determination and our resolve to ensure that our land is defended. This is a resolution we have reached, and it is cast in stone. I know that some people may say that Amotekun has some veneer of legal backing from their various houses of assembly in the West, that we must also seek to do the same in the East. We are letting them understand this very that our land is under occupation. The land of Biafra is under occupation with the tacit approval of those you call your political leaders. They have sold us down the drain. They have benefited from the relentless onslaught of a government determined to exterminate Biafrans, especially their youths. We are not beholden to them, because today we present to the world our first and our last line of defense against Fulani Janjaweed-inspired murderous anarchy and mayhem across the entire Middle Belt and the South. The Eastern Security Network is here to bring to an end years of Fulani Miyetti Allah terrorism in our land. This very security outfit is modeled, as I have said before, along the lines of Amotekun in the West, and even the vigilante group formed by Miyetti Allah themselves. Therefore, we are going to secure the entire Southeast and South-South, which is the former East, with the necessary assurance that crimes such as kidnapping, armed robbery, illegal abduction of innocent people is brought to an end very imminently. We must bring all these things to an end. We must understand that years of torment has come to an end. I also appreciate the fact that some of you, those who are in the service or in the pay of the Zoological Republic, I know that some of you cannot fathom what we are about to unveil this very evening. You thought that pictures were overwhelming. After this broadcast, the entire video will be released. That all of you may understand how serious we are, that we have come determined to do the will of the Most High Elohim. What is our story? I ask. Our story is that we have been killed for very many years. Just days ago, Fulani Muslims, yes, Fulani, call them headsmen, call them Miyetti Allah, call them Boko Haram, call them ISIS in West Africa. They murdered over 100 rice farmers, purportedly Christians, in cold blood in Borno State. Am I upset about it? Of course I am. Are we grieving? Of course we are grieving. But it is very, very disheartening, very, very discouraging that up until now, the international community have failed to do something about the murderous outrage perpetrated by Fulani terrorists on a daily basis against innocent indigenous populations in the zoo called Nigeria. Sometimes I feel disconnected, sometimes outrage and anger over these killings and the insincerity, the duplicitousness, and the profound lacking of seriousness, or should I say, stark appreciation of history. Our people, we do not learn, we have never learned, and until we rise up, all of us, one after the other, to support these very glorious efforts we are making to secure our land, our enemies will triumph over us. But heaven will forbid it. We will ensure that that will never happen in our time. You might ask, what is history? It is a very dark, hideous history of our people, banned by those who rose to power on the ashes of a genocide they themselves committed. It is a history banned in schools out of a sense of denial, yet it is a history still accessible to anybody and everybody who is willing to learn. On the trajectory that we have decided to embark upon, there is no going back. People are going to call, I know that for sure. There are those who may be interested to understand the reason why we do things the way we do it. In the fullness of time, they will come to appreciate the benefit of our tenacity, the benefit of our dedication and devotion to ensuring that Biafra land is secured. There were those in the Middle Belt in years gone by who stupidly joined in committing genocide, dishonestly, I must say, against the people of Biafra. They called it a civil war. They said they fought that very war to unite Nigeria. That same Nigeria is now killing everybody, or should I say, presiding over a reign of terrorism from Fulani Janjaweed. All of you are now regretting it. History is now repeating itself. What transpired against Biafrans, all the conspiracy against Biafra, is now being visited upon those very people that helped the Fulani Janjaweed terrorist caliphate to inflict what amounted to the second worst genocide in the history of the world. Some of them are weeping. We are all weeping. But none of you wept for Eastern Nigeria, so to speak, which is land of Biafra. None of you wept for the Igbo when they are being massacred. None of you wept for the Efik. None of you wept for Anang. None of you wept for even Ejo and other ethnic groups that made up Eastern Nigeria. None of you ever wept for us. We died that your useless Nigeria may be won, and today all of us are dying. But one day, weeping must come to an end. We have decided not to weep anymore. We have decided not to cry anymore. We have decided not to complain anymore. We have decided not to petition anybody anymore. But I'm sure by the time the Fulani Janjaweed gets exactly what they're looking for in our land, the world will be forced to intervene. This very security outfit is very proactive. It has been set up that very way. We are going to confront every enemy. We are going to confront anybody who will come to kill us. Because trust me, they will come. As somebody once said, there is a method in our madness. We will draw their army down into our land. Their flanks will be opened up. Their villages will be occupied by bandits and terrorists that they themselves created. That by the time they are done and we have sent them packing from Biafra land, they will have no home to go to. All of them don't have no home to go to. The zoo is finished. And there is nothing anybody can do about it.
And today, what the media is pushing forward and promulgating is war against Mazi Nnamdi, against ESN that are protecting their people. You know your government that they are common plan is always to infiltrate that which is good and make it evil. They did it in NSAS. They turned the NSAS movement to be with their talks. They employed their talks to make the NSAS movement violent. At the end of the day, he came against NSAS protesters and killed many of them and denied it till today. Nobody is being held accountable. The same thing they did to the ESN. They went and formed the unknown gunmen, begin to kill their fellow policemen, kill them indiscriminately. They formed unknown game, went to Imo State and broke a prison and released people. Just to tag the ESN evil. The government sponsored it, they did it, and they were doing it. They were doing the drama. Some people were even confused, thinking that the unknown gunmen were fighting for them. All of a sudden, the whole thing began to unfold. They came after the ESN and began to kill innocent people, all in the name of looking for unknown gunmen. Unknown gunmen they are looking for. Then they came out to tell us that ESN are unknown gunmen. ESN from day one never were in the street. They were never fighting in the street. They were always in the bushes fighting, which was the instruction of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from day one. But what do we see? Propaganda in the media, trying to change the narrative, trying to tell us what is not right. But we cannot allow them. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what they think. It doesn't matter how they... All the propaganda is a lie. And if you want to charge Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for inciting, the only man who have incited much violence in that very contraction called Nigeria is Buhari. The late Buhari have incited several times. So this man who is representing the late Buhari has to be arrested, and he has to face for the crime the late Buhari has committed. Because Buhari himself incited the killing of youth corpers when he lost election. He incited the killing of youth corpers, and a lot of youth corpers were murdered. Youth corpers from the southern part of Nigeria. They said that they were the one who made him not to win. He has incited again after he has won the election to say that he's going to treat the 5% differently from other countries, and he has been doing it. He didn't just say it, he started doing it. He came out again to threaten the southeastern region with war. He came out again to call the southeastern region a dot. All these are incitement to incite against the southeastern region. He came out to say that the riverine area have told him that they are not going to give the Biafrans a lively space. They are not going to give Biafrans a lively space, that wherever they move, that they will be stuck in the middle. Is that not an incitement? Since he came to power, he has been speaking, inciting the people against one another. That has been his program. His only program since he came in power have been always to empower the Fulanis. He came out and told us to give up our land or we die. All this he has been saying, and people are going about their business as if nothing happened. And today they have the boldness to come and charge Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, a man who is revealing the rottenness in that very contraption, revealing the evil happening in that contraption. They want to charge him for incitement. Let us see them in court and see what will happen. I trust Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for him. I trust his lawyers, and Chukwu Abiyama standing with him. We will all watch and see. If they try to play any game in the court, any secret trial, we will never going to allow any secret trial. And if anything happened to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu health, we will not accept that. And if they play any game whatsoever, God save Nigeria. That is all I got to say. Thank you wherever you are watching from. May Chukwu Abiyama protect Mazi Nnamdi Kanu wherever he is. May Chukwu Abiyama continue to strengthen him. Give him more strength to stand even stronger than ever. I believe so much in him, and he will stand stronger than ever. Biafra is here. Very, very close, more than ever. Thank you so much for watching wherever you are watching from. Remember, if you have not subscribed, subscribe to my channel. Share the video with those who need to see it. Thank you, and remember, bye-bye. See you again on the next video.